Who is this man that will lead me into eternity? Well, I will tell you, I'm just like any one of you. I've acquired things, I've fought for things, things that I have earned, things that I have taken. So I stand before you merely a man. Born 1736 in New Jersey. At 17 I left home. Not the best decision in my life. Uneducated. Just raw to the bone. But I moved to Virginia and I fought and I earned for everything that I had. I learned to become a wagoner. I would steer a team. And that actually brought me, for the first few years after I was 17, about to the age of 19 and 20. And I actually joined the British. And I drove teams for them during the French and Indian War. And in 1755, I experienced defeat at battle for the first time in my life. The Battle of Monongahela. And I saw defeat there. And I did not like the way it tasted. But I continued. I continued on. I'll tell you a funny story, man. A funny story. 1756, there I was. My mouth often got me into trouble. It got me into fights I shouldn't have been in. So I was never afraid to back down. But I had a British lieutenant who started running his mouth. And so I started talking back to him. Well, that gained me the flat side of his sword. Well, that didn't sit well with me. And with one punch that I learned to fight very well, I knocked him out. He was down on the ground. And I was a hero in my own mind. But that gained me 500 lashes through a court-martial. Well, as incompetent as the British were, the silly drummer couldn't even keep count. He drummed out 499 lashes, so I still have one more that I deserve from the British. And I'm waiting for them to give it to me, but yet they can't keep up. Well, then we fast forward another year to 1757. And I actually enlisted with the British Army as an ensign. It was there that I was taking a dispatch with 2 escorts to Manchester, Virginia. On the way, though, the Indians, they ambushed us. They killed both of my escorts. And I took a round through the back of my neck, and it exited through my left cheek, knocking out my teeth on that side. I pulled back from duty at that point, and I went back to Virginia. And I began living the dream, what we dream of here in this country. And I lived it. I bought a house. I gained a wife. I gained children. And we started living and doing what we want to do here. Free to live, free to work, free to do what we desire. Meanwhile, as time went on, we saw that the British started to encroach upon us. They wanted to take pieces of what we had worked for, pieces of what we had earned, and the tension started to rise. As many of you know, the things that you've earned, the things that you live upon, and people want a piece of it. Tensions grew until 1775, and then we see there in Lexington, the first shot was fired. And I knew at that point it was inevitable. The two forces could no longer live together, but one would have to rise to the top. And I decided that America was going to be the one on top. So I enlisted. I was a captain of a rifleman. I loved rifles. I loved sharpshooting. I loved being on target. I loved being accurate. And I loved fighting. So I enlisted. And we fought. 1777, I had my first real taste of victory. The Battle of Saratoga. I fought valiantly. I was on the top. I led, and leadership was beyond none that they'd ever seen. And yet I was overlooked. Here I was, one that was leading, and one that helped to inspire the battle, one that helped to inspire the victory, and they overlooked me. And that pierced inside of me. Well, I stayed with them. But in 79, when my idea for promotion came for Brigadier General, they overlooked me. And I started to examine things and thought of my health. And they passed over me again. It was time for me to resign. And so I did just that. I resigned and I took my place on the sidelines, but it never set well with me because I saw where the battles were headed. Just a year later, a year ago, almost to the day, we see in May that Charleston fell to Cornwallis. The British invaded the South. That was not good. Fighting was up north, but now if we come down here to the south and we start closing in, that's not a good turn for us. And that pierced at me as well. Well, in June, Congress came to me and they said, Mr. Morgan, we would like for you to take control of the Southern campaign of this revolution. We believe that you're the man. And I said, does it come with promotion? And they said, well, no, we just want you to lead. And I said, I turned it down. I turned it down. I let myself get in the way. My mouth ran before my actions again. So I waited. But in August, Camden fell. General Gates was overtaken in Camden. And as you know, if Charleston is gone and if Camden is gone, that's half of the state. Only one more portion of the state, if we divide it into thirds, the entire state belongs to the British. The revolution will be over. My time on the sidelines was done. August last year, I rejoined. By October, they gave me Brigadier General. The General Nathaniel Green contacted me, and he said, Morgan, here's what we're going to do. Cornwallis is chasing me. He said, we cannot outrun them. So what we're going to do is divide our forces. He said, Morgan, you will take a mixed group, Continentals and militiamen. He said, I want you to turn and head towards 96 and then head on down into Georgia. He said, you're going to draw Cornwallis' attention away from me. So we did just that. And so we've been marching, and we've come across, but men, we're here now. The broad river is too high for us to forge. We can no longer keep running away. So there must be a time when we will take a time to fight. The time is now. The time is now. We are here in your backyard. The place where you have lived, the place where you have grown up. Everything that you own is here. You raise your cattle here in the cow pens. You know this area. This area is perfect for my style of fighting. The swales and the hills and stuff, we will set this up perfectly. Charlton will be coming at us. The bloody man. Bannister Charlton, the young man. He's already deserved a reputation as the bloody man. He's going to be coming at us, and he is fierce, he is aggressive, and we will let that be his tragic flaw. We're going to do this. We're going to set up in 3 lines. I need the sharpshooters among you. Those of you that know that you can hit a target, hit it well. You've acquired that reputation. You will be on my front line. You will stand here on this rise, the first little rise right here, and you will be the first line that Charlton sees. When he comes to you, and our scouts say that he'll be here in the morning, when he comes to you, the first thing I want you to do is take aim at his officers. Aim well. When the time comes, when he gets close enough and you hear the command, I want you to fire. Quickly reload and get off the second shot. As soon as you fire your second shot, men, run. You run hard and you return back to this lower area, this swale here. And you line up behind the second line of militia. That's where you will, men. Men, you will be here in this lower area. Don't turn. Don't run. I know that you're scared, but all I need is your courage here in this time for another second volley of shots. 2 shots. As soon as you get off those second shots, turn and run as hard as you can, as fast as you can to the 3rd line. That'll be the Continentals. They'll be back here, the enlisted men, about 150 yards. Line up behind them. Reload. Reload, because I asked of you another 2 shots. That's only 3 volleys of shots, men, that I need you for. 3 volleys. I need your courage to be mustered for 3 volleys of shots. That's only 6. You line up behind the Continentals. They will take the brunt of the force. They will take Charlton and his men as they come out as full force. Because undoubtedly they will. It's his aggressiveness, and he will be coming. William Washington will be over here in this swale. He will have his cavalry over there set, ready to come in to encircle Charlton as they come into our trap. This is our victory. Men, I need your courage. You are here. You know the future. Your future, the future of this nation, lies within your hands. If we don't stop Charlton and his men now, the battle, the war is lost. If you didn't know what the future holds and you didn't know that it lies within your hands, you wouldn't be here, but yet you are. Your passion, your fervor, your pride will exceedingly outlast any command that Charlton may give. Any shot that they may fire, your passion will far exceed any of that. Your cause is right. Your cause is just. Stand with courage. Fight with honor. Men, tonight, you sleep as mere mortals. Tomorrow, your mortality will be lifted, and a nation will remember the stand that you took. Rest well, men, for tomorrow we will save this nation.